Scott, that's jwellfire.com. Final Days Report, episode 205. How will they starve you out? How will the elite starve you out? Plus, by 2026, AI runs the internet. The majority of the content will be from artificial intelligence. You cannot make this up. But I want to start this podcast, this VCast, with China social credit score ads of pure enslavement. This is what they want to implement around the world. Klaus Schwab said he loves the China model. We're dealing with wicked evil, my friends. This is how they're going to starve you out. Let's watch this video. I took the audio out because obviously I don't know the language, but you can actually review this video on my Telegram account. People are walking to an airport, and what's wild is the attendants will give a little hand signal, stop, and then give a picture and say, you are enslaved and cannot fly. This is a commercial in China to enslave you. For you rebels that speak the truth. For you rebels that call out fake news. Now the person looks like they're trying to check into a hotel. Stop. You can't stay at this hotel. I mean, what a freak show. This is beast technology, my friends. All by design. Next, it looks like employment. Stop. I mean, you got to be an idiot to do this. That's why they're banning all the AR-15s everywhere. And then the last scene, somebody is actually looking at the person's picture on a billboard. Pure shame. They didn't show somebody trying to go into a grocery store. I mean, we're dealing with evil. I put the blood of Jesus on this wicked evil program. All right, next, how will they starve you out? Folks, this is a tweet from Bill Gates. Vaccines in our food supply solves the problem of vaccine hesitancy. Let's read that again. Vaccines in our food supply solves the problem of vaccine hesitancy. Bill Gates vows to pump mRNA into food supply to force jab the unvaccinated. We're dealing with evil. Flat out evil, my friend. Let's continue under the AI beast tech. Again, if you follow our ministry, the fourth beast system spoken of by Daniel is really about artificial intelligence. We think the Antichrist, his consciousness with a false resurrection after he gets hit with the spirit destiny, will be placed in this quantum AI computer, and he'll show up as a hologram. That's what we think the beast system will be, or some sort of iteration thereof. But here's where it gets creepy. Experts predict 90% of online content will be AI generated by 2026. As the adage goes, don't believe everything you see online. Good night. 90% online content AI generated? This is insanity. And then what I was thinking about here, kind of the who, what, when, why, where, and how, you think about it, Google is the one serving over 90% of all searches. So they're going to serve you artificial intelligence-driven content. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. This is that beast system, my friends. But let's continue on the beast system. They want us in meta. That's where they want you. Drugged up and in a virtual world and being energy pods for their artificial intelligence system. Let's read Forbes headline. Walmart, Gucci, and Coke are getting meta and the sales are real. And I saw this when I was getting my MBA. The IT professor brought in these people that were playing this virtual world with avatars. And there were companies in there, and there were hundreds of thousands of people in this space. And there was cash spent. There were economics. This one avatar who was pretty good looking avatar. We saw the woman playing. She's like, I get sponsored $20,000 to support products. I mean, it was the weirdest thing. And this was 15, 20 years ago. Let's read. Imagine thousands of shoppers flocking to your latest store opening, trying on outfits and making big purchases. And there is no actual store. This is all online. And I've seen this firsthand with, I think it was called Virtual World. This is what the retail industry is poised to capture with the help of fully immersive virtual reality, or the metaverse. Thanks to alert marketers, the platform has morphed into a market destination and more consumers are buying in. The revenue opportunities of the metaverse just through e-commerce could reach $2.6 trillion by 2030, McKinsey estimated in a June 2022 report. And again, I saw people buying different outfits in this virtual world. I saw them buying land and real estate, and there were copyright infringement lawsuits in the real world going on. It's crazy. Get simple, get out of this technology. But I can just see the youth getting sucked into this crap. And what I noticed with the avatars is the people that were playing could be something that they were not in real life. And so there was this big fantasy. And this technology was 20 years ago, again, 15 years ago. All right. Again, this is a Watchman Ministry under Famine Watch. SEAL 3, just some interesting news. 3 articles. Stem rust reported to be back. Why stem rust could be back in wheat. Most of what's happening is man-made madness, in my personal opinion, but God could also have his hand on the famine as well. And then mainstream news is talking about a global famine. These are just multiple articles from CNN. Hunger in America could get worse as supply chains tighten. CNN, Russia war in Ukraine sparked a historic food crisis. It's not over. First of all, I think that's a playbook that we're seeing. An article I read talked about how people are just dropping dead in Pakistan. So we're seeing devastation, but a lot of this is man-made madness. I did not know this. I grew up in Michigan. Let's read. It's devastating. Hemlock grain storage dome fire still burning weeks after massive blaze. Who's burning up the food supply? Right? Man-made madness. So mainstream news is starting to talk about the inflation and the starvation around the world. And our supply chain is just being burned up, going after diesel. I mean, on and on and on. You can just see the structured takedown of everything. Grid getting attacked. Good night, my friends. But a lot of people have talked about how they're trying to get rid of gas. But why are they? Why is obviously to enslave us, to actually put everything into one electrical source. Like, they don't want competition among power generators or along fuel generators. They just want electricity. They want a single point of enslavement and tie everything to the smart grid, right? But let's continue to read of this scam, this research where they want to ban this. So a member of Consumer Product Safety Commission set off an uproar when he said last week that the agency would consider banning gas stoves on the grounds that they pose health risks. The government doesn't love you. They put fluoride in the water. I mean, what a joke. The argument that gas stoves are unsafe and subject to regulation by the commission is premised on research finding a link between stoves and a range of negative health outcomes. Most recently, a study published that month found that natural gas stoves are responsible for more than 12% of childhood asthma cases in the United States, a similar risk to exposure to secondhand smoke. What about vaccine damage and the link between autism that the CDC said? I mean, government doesn't love you. They want you cold. Here's what you need to know about the study. The findings and methodology of the study conducted by the environmental think tank RMI and published in the International Journal of Environmental Research and Public Health found that as many as 650,000 current cases of childhood asthma are the result of gas stove use. Blah, 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 blah. Stupid. They want you enslaved. They want to get rid of your wood stoves. They don't want you to plant gardens in your front yards. If the government loved you, they'd take fluoride out of the water. They would promote natural health. They'd promote vitamin C. They'd promote ivermectin and hydroxychloroquine when doctors were having success. I mean, this is a war on you, my friends. They would promote free speech. They would promote the right to protect yourself. And then here's what I think we need to get ready for. The USA loss of the reserve currency, multiple articles. Saudi Arabia now is taking other currencies for oil. But this is all by design. This is an article out of France. USA may lose control of the world finance due to conflict in the Ukraine, French expert. It's due to the official takedown of the United States. But this is what they're seeing around the world. Emmanuel Todd is certain that the United States is in a phase of long-term decline, of course, against the backdrop of its waning influence in the world. It has decided to press for greater influence in original protectorates acquired after World War II, protectorates, conquerors, I should say. If the Russian economy offers long-term resistance to sanctions and manages to bleed the European economy white and manages to survive with Chinese support, U.S. monetary control of the world will collapse, and with it, the U.S. ability to finance its mammoth trade deficit for next to nothing. This war has become an existential existential for the United States. It cannot get out of the conflict before Russia. They cannot let go. This explains why we are now in the open-ended war, in a confrontation that is bound to result in the collapse of one side or the other, Todd says. It's going to be the United States by design. Let's end with this. It's an Antichrist world. Man wearing Jesus Saves t-shirt at Mall of America asked to take it off or leave. The good book says, and ye will be hated for my name's sake. But now's a great time to be alive, save souls. Friends, do me a favor, join our newsletter at sjwellfire.com. Thank you for your support. And I'm going to put an affiliate page of everything that I am doing to prepare for these times. Our food's going to be tainted with nanotech. We've talked about that often. You need to know your food source, support a local farmer, plant permaculture, plant a garden. I have a bunch of apple trees. I can have an apple a day. Granted, you can't survive on that. My only knock is I can't raise chickens, so I'm trying to simplify, sell my house. We have some long-term food storage that we'll put there, an EMP shield, but the priority is Bible. Get your King James Version Bible, get some seeds. Coming up, we're going to do a study on Ephesians 6 with my mentor, Pastor Larry. I'm here in Florida right now. We're actually just going over Ephesians 6. He'll probably have a 5 to 10 part series where he goes deep into Ephesians 6, which I think is pretty cool work. So we'll only play that on Sunday because we are a news ministry first and foremost. But on Sunday, we'll have some of his sermons, God willing. And that's it. That's the update. But I appreciate your support. Again, bookmark our site. Have a blessed day. Please pray for this ministry. We'll talk.